Janet McDonnell. Janet's a great lover of colour and light, and she's been involved with it for at least 25 years. Now she has two colour hats. One is she's a practitioner of Carl's wonderful monochrome dome, which he spoke about in the last lecture. And her and her sister made a great achievement in getting the monochrome light treatments recognised with the IICT, the International Institute of Complementary Therapies, I think it is. So that's wonderful for all of us who want to work in that modality, so that it's now recognised. But today she's going to talk about her other colour love, which is Aura-Soma. And she's an international teacher. She's actually one of the most senior teachers in the world. A young senior teacher. And it's my great delight to pass you on. There you go.
Thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me, and it will be a great joy in sharing my love of colour and light. A little bit of a different spin of what we've done today, and I've also thought, because it's come to the end of the day, it would be really nice for us to interact, I call it play, and experience the different colours. So I've made it a little harder for Manisha because I'm going to be moving around, and usually when I give presentations or workshops, I really like to invite you to ask questions. Don't hesitate, because I always believe the group that we're in takes me. You drive me. You know, I have all this knowledge just like each of you, but you drive how you want it. So I'm here. So I thought to start, we've talked about the power of love. We talked about the power of light. We are both light and we are both love. And it's for all of us to actually strip all those layers away and actually shine our light and be the star we are. So I have lived for 25 years with all these products. Not a day in my life goes by without using them at least once. And I have many anecdotes, many stories about the products, but I like to share a little of what I've experienced, what I've learnt, and maybe give you some tidbits on how you can use the products today. The thing that I read many years ago, and it stays with me every lecture, and I bring it to the table with every lecture, is the fact that we are only 5% conscious. We live in a reality of 95 unconsciousness. And I think if we can just become 1% more conscious, our lives will be happier and filled with love. So that takes me to the pink pomander. And traditionally, no matter where we are in the globe, no matter who presents, we always bring a group energy together with the pink pomander. So I thought it'd be nice for us to experience it, to smell it. We've already sprayed the room with the Lady Nada quintessence, which is love, unconditional love. And it's the possibility to be heard. Often there's so much noise, often we are not heard. It's a difference to, I often say that to my husband. I said, but you are not listening to me. So that's a real key, is the act of listening. And if I can share anything I've learnt in the 25 years, because it is 1992 that I came across these beautiful colours, I have been on a journey of confidence, self-confidence, believing in myself, building on my self-esteem. And I was just saying to Simon, you know, I give all this to others and sometimes I forget to give it to myself. And that's also very much the energy of the pink. So let's have a sharing. All I'm asking is if you could please put your left hand or palm. I will put 3 drops. I'm going to kindly ask you if you can just rub your hands together, and please don't smell it yet. Just allow it to filter through the subtle bodies. And then in a minute we'll stand up. Okay, so let's rub our hands together, and if you'd like to stand up, so we're just going to move that body a little. Let's just give that energy away. Let's give that pink energy of love away. I'd like to sense, feel or imagine that pink energy leaving your left hand and just encircling our beautiful planet Earth, giving Earth the love she deserves. And as you give it, so shall you receive it into your right hand. And as we've talked about the chakras and the subtle bodies today, let's just gently drop in the pink pomander and gently place it into the crown chakra. You might like to see it as pink light, pink raindrops, or maybe pink rose petals. But it's the energy of love, it's pure love. Take it down the back of the head, the occipital area, down the back of the neck. And then we take her across the temple of awareness, temple of insight, of wisdom, massaging the temples with the energy of love, the colour pink. And then when you're ready, let's hold our hands together above the third eye. And we're going to pull that energy all the way down and placing it into the throat chakra. And very gently, lovingly, let's place that pink energy. It's the seat of love, is letting go of fear. And then slowly take it over our heart chakra, our heart. And it's a moment where you can actually honour your true beauty, your true self. And then when we're ready, let's take that pink energy down through the hara. Let's give it all the way back to Mother Earth with reverence, respect and love. And then when we're ready, let's bring it back up. And now I'd like you to smell the colour pink 3 times, 3 deep breaths. Thank you. So what we just experienced is working on the bioelectromagnetic body. It's been discussed all day with the 3 Simons and Jeremy and of course Carl. We can rub our hands together, we can feel that energy. You talk about it when you've done the healings and the physiotherapy treatments, and we can feel it. And what we're doing is the little hair-like structures, we're actually placing a pink barrier, a beautiful pink barrier that is just filling ourselves with love. It gives us protection. It refreshes the auric body and it repels negative energy. And I can promise you, I have tested it. I have told my students to go out there and test it. I have told my clients to get out there and test it. And that's where I get the phone calls or the text. In the old days, it was the phone calls on the landline. Now it's text or emails. And everybody experiences lots of different shifts. The heart of the Aura-Soma system is the language of colour. And I did a major career change in my 30s. It was actually early 30s. I was in the fashion industry, working with the exterior beauty. And there's a part of me that just was not fulfilled. I had started to read different books. And I was looking for the more in life. So over one weekend, after doing a course on essential oils, I was already a qualified beauty therapist but didn't pursue it. I decided to resign. How brave. I think I had major survival issues afterwards. However, I survived. It was all about trust. I just knew I had a deep connection when I smelt the essential oils. So I went through the courses and I became an aromatherapist and a beauty therapist and worked for a beauty therapy clinic and eventually had my own practice within a space of 4 years. In that time, I was dabbling, looking at, well, do I want to do kinesiology? Because I wanted the more. Do I want to do reflexology? I did acupressure, and I found that to be really interesting, but it wasn't enough for my soul. So in early 1992, there was a colour workshop. The lady's name was Noelle Levin, and she had 24 of these bottles, and it was all part of the colour lecture. And I just went, oh my God, this is fantastic. I want to know more. So I continued to do a couple of extra workshops. She shared with me where I could purchase the bottles at the time, which was at the Crystal Gallery at the Rocks. Quickly trot it down. It was my holy quest. I had to find out where I could get these bottles, not knowing what they were used for. I had absolutely no idea. The only thing that Noelle had said to me was in my 4-bottle selection, which we'll have a play with later, was that I had a near-death experience, and that was accurate. So that really got my curiosity going. Went to the Crystal Gallery. They didn't have the physical rescue, which is what I wanted to purchase, so I bought a Serapis Bay and a Violet Pomander. Placed it on just like we did now. She quickly showed me how. And I was very fortunate I could go away to Hawaii for a few days with a friend of mine. The interesting thing is I was placing the Serapis and the Violet, really gung-ho, wanting my own healing as well as what can I give to my clients. What can I give them to nourish them and nurture them? And it was a stopover in Auckland before we got to Hawaii. And we got back onto the plane. We had to fill out the immigration form. I was already insulted that America called us aliens, as it was. But the most interesting thing that happened to us was that I went to fill it out and I couldn't find my passport. My friend's passport also was missing. It was put in his little dilly bag, and it had slipped through in the transit lounge. So we were then notifying the steward, like the air hostess at the time, and they told the pilot. And of course we had to be taken out by security. We had to go into an office. We were questioned. And I never put the 2 and 2 together until in preparation for this lecture. And I said to Mark, I rang Mark, I said, I can't believe it. I never put 2 and 2 together. When we look at the energy of Serapis Bay, it is clear. So it's about letting go, it's cleansing, purifying, detoxing on many different levels. So here I am furiously putting on the product, not knowing what for, and I end up with no identity in another country. As it was, after 3 or 4 hours, we paid for 4 more days of visa, and they found the bag, we got the bag, and so be it. But I went back to the Crystal Gallery to get the bottle one, and it was there I got the flyer to say, hey, there's an Aura-Soma course. Immediately took the days off, closed the practice, off I went. And this is what I saw. At that stage, it was only 2 bottle 89. And I went to Marg and Harry's place and we did our very first level 1 foundation workshop. My heart sang, and still to this day it sings. I didn't know what it was for. I didn't know who created it. I knew nothing. All I knew was I could use this in my practice. I knew it. And I was so right. I discovered, we called them readings, which are now consultations, about a 4-bottle selection, which we'll run through in a few moments' time. However, what I did from there is I purchased the whole set of pomanders, quintessences, and the chakra set. So would you like me to pull out the chakra set? These are probably the best-selling bottles in the world, are the chakra set, and I'll show you the best-selling bottle in the world shortly. So that range of product is what I worked with for 2 years. So I massaged, worked with my aromatherapy, blended still my own oils, and worked the products to actually just sense and see the difference, what happened to my clients. my business increased because obviously word of mouth, people felt very nourished, they felt nurtured, but they also felt shifts. There were people, just as you've all shared, who would never share they saw colours for the first time. And then I would recommend ones that they could take home. This is so easy. You can say, hey, take this home, use it. It's non-intrusive from the Aura-Soma's philosophical approach, because it is a non-intrusive soul therapy, hence it was another little area that I loved. And it was only a couple of years later that I actually got the confidence to learn how to really consult with the public, because I thought, I'm not psychic, I can't do this. So I had to go through this whole process, and it was learning to listen. I had to really learn to listen and learn how to become a good practitioner in the listening. It's very easy to do the treatments, the silence, the little bit of talking, but then when you actually start to do, it's not a tell, it's allowing them the space to share, to allow whatever their story is to be unfold. I'm really the observer, and I thought about that driving up here today. I got lost in the maze, got the parking, and then I went, oh, we're in Observatory Hill, and realised how special the first ALA, Observatory Hill, Sydney, on the harbour, all the elements, observatory, oh yes, capital, and I thought, yeah, it's to remember. I'm here to observe. It's the observation. The more I can become the witness in my life, the better I am. And if I'm a better witness, I'm happier in my home life, I'm happier with my friends, and I'm also happier with something that I love to do. So from there, I gained the confidence. I went to England. I am obviously a teacher of all levels. I have such a great passion, because I look at them sometimes as Lego blocks, and you can build. Because something I discovered with Aura-Soma is it's infinite. Just like Carl said about the colours. You know, Newton said there were 7 colours. There is not one way to consult. It is infinite, because each bottle here is numbered. So we've got it from bottle 0 on my far right hand side to the bottle just behind the orange, the Cassiel. No, it's not. What's the last one called? No, it doesn't matter. It's 114. So each bottle's numbered, so you can attach numerology to it. You can also attach astrology to it. People use it with kinesiology. People also work with it as nutrition, with massage. With any modality, it is a beautiful, beautiful adjunct, because it only helps, it only complements. It doesn't take away from your focus. And that's one of my greatest joys, because even people who counsel, I have a couple of doctors who've worked with it, and I really admire them to actually start bringing in the Pamandas and the chakra sets and the quintessences into their field. So I'm here today to share with you what I've learnt. In the last few years, I'm always looking again for inspiration and what makes us. You know, why are we are? Who are we? You know, I'm always asking those sorts of questions in my quiet time. And I know the answer's simple. It always is simple. We are vessels of love. We're embodiments of love. We are light. However, we've got all the genetic lineage that we've taken on board. We've got our personality, we've got our character, our nature that we think we are, then we've got our true nature. And then we've got all these amazing automatic responses. Why do we do what we do on automatic? You know, it was through this I realised I'm a no person. So my husband would say something, I go, no. He'd say something, no. And I realised it was in the colour selection, it is my natural response. So I had to learn to make change. And Harry is very good. He says to us often, you've got to learn to say, what is it we specialise in? And it's very easy for me to say, yes, I'm an Aura-Soma practitioner, but I actually realised I'm here to help support people to make change or to transform. And it's really trending at the moment, the word transform or transformation. So I feel very comfortable in using that word. I used to say change or evaluation. So that's a little of who I am, and what I've learned and garnered so far. Here with the chakras, Vicky Wall was the person who innovated the Aura-Soma in 1983. And just to ground the system, she was 65, 66 when she got divine guidance through meditation to actually get up and divide the waters. She was apothecary trained, and when she birthed the bottles, she was clinically blind, but she was born with electric vision, auric sight. So she would sit here with you and she would see the beautiful energies, your living energies, your light energies. And if she was to look at you, because I've seen her on videos, she would have direct eye contact with you. So she birthed half a dozen of these bottles, perfect emulsion of oil and water. So oil's on the top fraction, water's on the bottom fraction. And it contains the three kingdoms. It's got the crystal kingdom, which Simon shared today, the great gifts of working with the crystals. Actually, both Simons. The plant kingdom, and of course we are the human kingdom. We are the HUE-MAN, the human kingdom. She had no idea what they were for. It was through a festival, through her electric vision. They were selling cosmetic products. She realised that people were actually drawn to the colours they needed. And so it evolved. And one of the greatest quotes that I have, I will always remember, the only constant in life is change. It's always changing. Every second it's change. And it's how open we are to change. So she said here with the chakra set that it worked with the chakra or the energy station above, heals the energy station below. So I would think this is God's poetry. I think it's just so beautiful. We've got the yellow-red base chakra. If we shake it together, it's orange. We've got the orange. And interestingly enough, this orange bottle, believe it or not, is a colour that either people like or they don't like. There's no in-betweens. That's the colour orange. But it is the best-selling bottle on the globe. And I double-checked that during the week. It still is, to this day, the best-selling bottle because it works on the etheric gap. And the etheric gap is when we've gone through shock and trauma, and most of us have experienced some form of shock and trauma through our lives. It's just that the auric body starts to leak a little bit, go out of a little bit of alignment. This helps bring us back together, and we can focus and do what we're here to do. And I can share with you many anecdotes, which I will, on how good that bottle is. Then we look at the next being the solar plexus, the little eye, the ego centre, the spaghetti junction. It's where we assimilate, integrate on many different levels, and that is bottle number 4. Heart bottle. Interestingly enough, we talked about the turquoise a lot today. I've heard it mentioned many times. Shakes together as the turquoise. Throat being the blue. It's the peace bottle. And then we go into the third eye. And Vicky didn't see black in the plant kingdom. So that's the bottom fraction. Can you all see that? So it's like this beautiful port wine colour that we call deep magenta. Isn't that stunning? That is called the Rescue. It's the Rescue bottle, similar to the Bark Flower Remedies. It's its second best-selling bottle. It can be used anywhere on the entire body. And then last but not least is the crown. And of course what we're seeing here is the analytical mind, the intuitive feminine aspect, the receptive aspect, the yin-yang. So we've got the blue-pink being the Star Child bottle. And these are the bottles that I work with intensely. They now have developed the beautiful chakra massage, chakra balancing massage treatments, which are global courses and for spa treatments. And I'd like to show you, because this is living energy, It's one of the first magazines we received as Aura-Soma practitioners. Some of us might remember in the room. It's a Kirlian photography. There's been a few slides today on the Kirlian photography of a chrysanthemum. And when I saw that for the first time, because I've seen the hands, but I'd never seen the plant, I looked at it and I thought, how divine. It was just beautiful. We've got the spirals, you see the life force. And then I thought to myself, oh my God, these bottles, even though I'm seeing them through glass and I'm seeing them as colour, right now they're all radiating this incredible energy, and you've all shared that today. In each of the lectures, each person has presented the life force, the energy of life. I've also taken photos. This is a workshop I had at home. We had a lovely practitioner by the... I'll pass this round. Dottie Hook. She did the Kirlian photography, and what she showed us was, here's your hands right now, put the bottle on, and then took a photo of what the hands looks directly after. So it's, again, something that you can show to say, hey, look at the energy, look at the shift that's taken place. Now that's bottle, I'd say 24, because that's quite a popular bottle. And often it's about where we're removing the creative, like removing the blocks that stops the creativity from flowing, so removing limitations, removing restrictions. So if you like to pass that around so you can all have a browse. The other is also, I took this today. Aura-Soma 2 has made water sticks, and the water sticks is immersed in a jug of water. And again, if you leave it in there for about 20 minutes, you know, you're putting you're transferring information of that particular colour into the water. They too took frozen crystals and took photographs. And the big one here is bottle 94, which is Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is this beautiful bottle, which is thy will underneath wisdom. It's also about thy will over the my will, where we surrender to thy will. And it's the colour green. And green's been also mentioned. It's a bit like Carl's beautiful shirt. It's that colour green. It's about rejuvenation. It's about the truth. It's the path. It's direction. They're just good key words, because that's what we learn in the system. We learn the key words of the language of colour to help work through the consultations. All these photos I just love, and for me it just confirms the living energies. It confirms I'm not just a physical body. It confirms that I'm always working on really my energy fields. I'm really making them healthy and well. So for me, healthy and wellness, yes, it's the physical body. And I like to share with you, I am married to a registered nurse. So you can imagine there are a few battles. You know, he'll go to the doctor quickly. I go, no, I'll do something like this or do something else. And I know I have to look at what's going on for me. What is my thought processes? What's happening for me that my energy levels are weakening or not functioning at its full capacity. So each of us has a story. Each of us. We're similar yet different. And if I was to look at what does a consultation entail, it's about personal story. I like to give a snapshot of how I see a consultation, is that when we invite someone to select their coloured bottles, it's like we're seeing our tapestry as our strands, they're our colours, they're unique to us, and we are like an eagle soaring above and getting a bird's eye view of how perfect living our life is, especially right now, because right now is where we have our point of power. Yet when we're in life, physically, day to day, maybe feeling frustrated, or maybe feeling happy, or maybe going, why can't they understand what it is I'm saying? We're like the little ant and we're in it, or the knots of the strand. And what we're doing is discovering, well, how can we unravel that? And how can I be more detached of the circumstance? And how can I be happier in my present moment? Because what we're all looking for ultimately is joy, happiness. Obviously the top one is love. And to have peace, respect and understanding amongst each other, because we have so many similarities. The very first time I saw a consultation, I went, oh my God, this isn't for me. This isn't what I'm here for to do. But over the years I realise it's simple. It's about listening. It's about where people really connect to who they are. They may share a story because story is powerful. They may not. They may shed a couple of tears. They also may share laughter. One will never know what will come of a consultation. If we are 5% conscious and 95% unconscious, in that 4-bottle selection, we start to see what really drives us. Why did I pick my mother and father this lifetime? What was it I was here to gain? What insight? And they're the questions I probe. I don't necessarily probe that in all the consultations, but it depends where they come from, what they're wanting. But I'm coming down to the guts of the whole consultation amongst friends and peers today. Yes?
Do you want to do a really quick one? Because I've been staring at one bottle for the past 5 minutes.
Oh, certainly. What one is it? Do you want to come over?
It's the blue and red one behind you. On the central shelf.
This one here? I'll just pop these back. Okay, it's blue over orange. Can everyone see it? Interestingly enough, if we had the colour wheel, we'd have the blue, and what lies opposite the blue is the orange. They're really diagonally opposite one another. They're complementary. The other thing we would observe in a class is we look at the language of the blue and the language of the orange, and it's 72, and its name is called the Polacci clown. So it's a person who has great inspiration, aspirations, here to communicate the joy to the world. That would be part of that keynote to that particular bottle. What would unfold is, what would be your second bottle? So I'm going to use you now. I don't know your name. Anita. Come up to this.
So next bottle would be, I was looking at the opposite one, but actually I think it's that one.
Okay. Okay, and please, third bottle.
Do I have to get another one?
No, just take your time.
That one.
And this is your last one, Anita.
Oh, another one.
Just one more. Okay. Okay. Nita, thank you so much. Vicky would say, when we are selecting our 4-colour combination, this is where the magic happens. We hand you a mirror. And in the selection, it is the soul aspect that is recognising the self, the true self. You can never ever trick the soul, ever. And the colours may change tomorrow, but the storyline will be the same. You'll find the threads are still there. Certain colours will be still there. You've chosen, so it's self-selective. And there is no way I'm going to prescribe a particular bottle. I will suggest, and I will support you in the recommendation, but you will have the final choice selection. Personally, I think it's quite a sacred space when you choose your bottles. And I also find it interesting when bottles have been selected is looking at the colours that you've selected. So your first one was 72, blue over orange. Second was the green over the red, 28. The third was the red over the green, which is interesting. And the last is the blue over the green. And of course what's interesting here is you've got the play of the red and green, and they too lie opposite each other. Some practitioners would look at it as being, you've got the 72, you've also got the 27. So there's a play with numbers. Okay, so there's a 9 and a 9 if we're looking at completion, new beginnings, starting up something. I would also say to take the mystery out, because you can Google it. I love Google these days. The first bottle is, this is who I am. This is what my purpose or my mission is, if you want to use those words. But this here, the top fraction is like the total genetic lineage I've selected this lifetime. So we would look at the filter of blue or the language of blue. And it may be, first selection is that you are looking through a filter to take away, to find who the true self is. But it's the blue. So if we look at the blue, you may have had a home where there's been, communication may have been good or not good. We could look at what authority issues have been, and have you been nurtured? Have your needs been met? And these would be questions, because I'm not going to open up Pandora's box today because I respect you. But I'm giving ideas of how and what we would look at in our sharing. And it's coming here with the colour orange. And orange is all about the soul aspect. So here the soul has come is about the letting go. It's aspirational. It's joy. It's working towards the spirit, the spirituality. And in here, it's also, being the Palachi clown, we would talk about, it's the clown that always shows I'm happy, very happy, but it may not necessarily share what I'm truly feeling. Here, in the second position, is the gifts. It's the gifts, and it's also the challenges. And interestingly enough, in the here and now, you've turned that around the other way. And I would say your gift is you're a pioneer, starting new ideas. You're ready to awaken. It's rejuvenating, it's renewal. There's a whole process going on. And it's like, how do I move my red energy? How do I get that motivation going? What's holding me back? How can I move forward? What decisions do I want to make? And you notice I'm really doing a lot of saying, really a lot of telling. When we consult, it's a lot of sharing, and keywords would be used, and I would allow you to express yourself, Anita. And here is also sharing the fact, yeah, hey, you're on track. It's Robin Hood. So you've got Maid Marian and Robin Hood. Now, it's interesting, if we looked at the myth of Maid Marian, I love Maid Marian. She was beautiful. In that myth, she was the bridge of materialism and spirituality. That's what Maid Marian is. That's your gift. You can bridge both worlds. And here, in the Robin Hood, is saying, your generosity of spirit is generosity of spirit to the masses in the field that you do. And I haven't even asked you, your career path. Decisions is probably the greatest overview. It's a time of decision making. If anything, it's renewal, decision and regeneration. Okay? But it's also to make your heart sing and not to please others. So this is your time to please yourself, Anita. And here it's saying, it's the heart bottle. It's the turquoise. You're ready to sow the seeds. You're ready to play. It's about creativity, going with the flow, spontaneity. So whatever the program here that's stopped you, maybe, movement's about to occur. Now, I could ask Anita, which bottle would you like to take home and work with? And you really have free will here. Is there one particular bottle?
They look different from here and not from
Sure. You're welcome to come here, Anita. This is your playground too.
Yeah, if I took one bottle home, it would probably be the last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I would support Anita in that. And I could also be devil's advocate and say we'd discuss the reasons why that would mean a lot, and I would support that. But often we suggest the second one. So in my gentle art of persuasion, in what we would share together, I would also maybe suggest that one and then maybe have that one. It's not saying you can't have it, because that one will uncover the energies that are coming towards you in the future. So you can have that. But maybe just bringing that chakra, maybe bringing the thought process into balance, because we're working with the emotional side of our being, mental, physical, psychological and spiritual. I mean, we're all one being. So whatever has been discussed, we would then support.
That one feels more alive to me now, and that one feels more calming.
And Nita, could you just come up to show everybody something? I'd just love you to come up. Well, hey, that would really reinforce that pioneering spirit. Just look at the beautiful colours she's wearing. Look at Anita. Is she not, Anita, wearing the colours? She's reflecting her being's needs. She knows her colours already. And from the soul perspective, you held your mirror and say, this is what I want and this is what I want to work with now.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful, so thank you so much. Okay, I always have a bottle that I shake and use because I think people want to see the colours shake. There is a technique in shaking the bottles, and that's why there is no two remedy bottles that in the world. And it goes like this. You hold the left hand, I've got an empty bottle. Thumb, and Vicky called...
My left hand?
Yes, left hand's receiving, and it's the feminine principle. No, you can hold the whole glass here. So thumb supports the base of the bottle. The index finger is on the lid. No, the middle finger. The ring finger is on one shoulder and the index finger on the other shoulder. And shake it vigorously together. You emulsify the oil and the water together. Yeah, go for it. What has occurred now is the human element in the bottle. So Anita has actually put her vibrations, transferred her vibrations into the bottle to be used. You can stop whenever you want, yeah. And just pop it here. And now we see that bottle. I can cleanse it, and it's a one that I use for class, so it's fine. However, when you take your bottle home, it is your personal bottle. So it's a bottle you would activate, you shake it, and to me that is the alchemy. That is the alchemy. It's your signature. Your vibrations have entered into that bottle. You would then put the oils on and you work purely by the colours of the chakra. But if your greater guide within you says, no, I want to put it over my whole body, you go right ahead. As long as you put it back and front. It's not just part of us, it's all of us. You put it on, you're welcome to open that bottle. Everyone's welcome to open that afterwards. And you'll feel it's a perfect emulsion of oil and water. It's absorbed very, very quickly. And the skin is semi-permeable, so it enters into the lymphatic, into the blood, through the vibrations, goes to the correct chakras. It then repercusses to the subtle body. So it repercusses to the electromagnetic, etheric and astral bodies. Is that not great? Is that not easy? And can't you see how you can just do this on its own, but also in adjunct with whatever treatments you do? It's so easy. Even if you just work the chakras and you listened, you can recommend the chakras with a pomander or a quintessence. Thank you. Thank you, Nita. To personalise it with Anita, I would also recommend a pomander, and that was the pink that we put on, but I would work with the colour orange, because the orange will bring in the joy. The orange will bring and stimulate the aspirational side of her. The orange will give her courage. The orange will support in the letting go of old programs. Because what's contained in here is a lot of the conditioning, we know it's from 0 to 5, that's where we condition, we program, and then the pathways get stronger and stronger as we move into adulthood. And if we can make one small change, it's just one small change in our habitual routine, we make a massive quantum leap within our being. And I have witnessed it. So any questions on that so far? I've done a really sort of quick overview. Yes.
With the single colour ones, say my top 4 would be single colour ones.
You mean like these ones here? Look, it's purple. It's purple.
I can't think in two colours.
Yeah. It's purple or violet over violet. It's just saying. It's really. I often look at it. The person is very focused. So consciously and subconsciously, they're really totally in tune. It doesn't make one person no more or better or anything like that. It's just where that person is at that time. What we look at is that the top fraction is the conscious reality and the bottom is the subconscious. You know, we really work just purely on the messaging of colour. And were those words of wisdom for you, Anita?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they were very-
Okay.
I'm not just saying.
No. Thank you. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Tell me, in a real situation,
Yeah.
would you give her that bottle or would you make up another one?
No. These bottles are from the UK. So we get the bottles as is, and they're virgin bottles. I actually call them, we joke about it in class, they're virgin bottles. So you notice I've been picking it up by the lid, except for the one that I demonstrate with. So it's just respect, it's holding it by the lid. When the person selects their bottles, it's usually, you know, either I hold it by the lid or the person, and they shake it, vibrate it, put their vibrations into it, and then take it home. And then you apply it. The secret is in the application. It is vital. There are many who purchase their second bottle because, hey, they're buying back a little of themselves, and there's resistance. And resistance is powerful. You know, I know that I've got to exercise more, and the resistance of exercising, I can give you all the excuses why I can't do it. But I know I have to do it because it's good for my health. So it also happens with the bottles. So often people will put it on the windowsill or in the bathroom or on the bedside and not put it on. Now, that's okay. But Ficky's philosophy was, it's like you have a photograph of your loved one. The difference is when you apply the bottle to the physical being, to yourself, you're nurturing yourself, you're loving yourself. Usually there's an affirmation that we would give, that you're thinking about that affirmation. So consciously there's a shift. Just to give yourself those few moments of love. And she said that's like hugging someone you love. And that's the point of difference.
What is the essence made of after using the colour?
Oh, that's the secret, I don't know. That is really, it's born in mystery. We can all smell, like if you were to smell all the orange products, for example, they all smell very similar. If you were to smell the red, you can smell the similarity. We know some of the top notes, but the whole combination, that's part of the secrets. Would I be right there?
Oils? Are they pure essential oils?
Yes, biodynamically grown. So I thought I'd also share some of my own experiences. Would that be okay? While we're talking about the bottles, I might show something I do frequently in class because I feel it really lands the world of energy so beautifully. This is a bottle that I've used in treatments because you can use the chakras and you can cleanse them, and they can be used with other patients. That's just, again, a pure virgin equilibrium bottle number 5, base chakra. This one's been used, and I'm happy for it to pass around and have a look. You can actually see, if you look at it, you can see the midline. It's very cloudy. Can you all see that? It's very cloudy. It's like a white gunky. Look, you can see it's white gunky. And that's just confirming it's been cleaning out the subtle bodies. It's just like cleaning it out. And I usually look at that and I go, oh, that is just so good, because that's just like a confirmation that it's actually working. So please have a look. Don't feel shy. Some of the other miracles that I have witnessed is here I have a bottle number 3. We've just talked about bottle 3. It's the heart bottle. It's blue-yellow as a bottle. It's a blue-green bottle. it has lost its blue. It's become a blue-yellow. It is still the heart bottle, but it's lost the blue element. And again, one cannot explain it. I get very excited with these little miracles. And one of the best ones... Oh.
How do those change?
Energetically. Just energetically.
This is after the client's put it on.
Energetically. It's changed. I have... No, that doesn't happen all the time. It's just the occasional one just changes. The most incredible experience I had was I had a gentleman come for treatment. He was going through a divorce, very messy. He missed his children. He was in a lot of sadness. He came for a massage. I worked the blue pink on him in the treatment. Within the space of an hour and a half, the pink had actually disappeared and it was a blue clear bottle. I often go, wow, how does this happen? It's just the energies. It just shows you how magnificent we all are and how energy just works. There's been another one where I gave a consultation. In the consultation we had, her second bottle, because I don't remember them all, was it's part of the energy. It's a material world over the spiritual world. But in her case, with her 4-bottle selection, it was all about, the word was used, rebirth. We talked about it. So she was going to buy her bottle and I heard an explosion. I went to the cabinet and I took a photo of the bottles because I couldn't bring them all. And here is bottle 22. That's the bottle that exploded, and that is called the rebirth bottle. That's how important the bottle was for her to work with. She came back and made many new decisions. She let go of her partner that she wasn't happy with, made career changes, and that was all part of her rebirth. So I often keep my evidence because then it becomes my story when I do the teaching. We taught a group of women. It was a group of about 20 women. We had the beautiful white tablecloths. It was stunning. They were ready to select their bottles. And all of a sudden one of the girls, we were doing our morning tea it was, one of the girls came to us and said, there's blue and green everywhere. Oh, not blue, purple. And I said, what do you mean? Bottle, green over violet. And here's my evidence of the bottle. You can actually see it's got a diagonal split down the glass. Was just leaking. And it wasn't until we came back, regrouped, we discussed it, because there's many colours within the green violet, to discover that these were women who had suffered domestic violence. So in coming together, self-selecting, this bottle exploding was part of the releasing the grief, new decisions, a time to recollect, a time to discover freedom, and it was all contained within those colours. And that's when I go, wow, this is such a beautiful tool. It's a very powerful tool. Someone shared today about a baby. I think, was it you, Simon, about the baby, a few days old, the pink, Mason? A friend of mine, also who found it very hard to conceive and fall pregnant, had her first baby, and the first baby was stillborn. So from the stillborn was the grief, the sadness. Took some time and they fell pregnant again, and of course it was the fear of giving birth and if it's going to be stillborn. In this case she had a beautiful baby girl and they were delighted, and I thought, what's the best gift? What's the best gift I can give them? And besides the, clothes, I gave a bottle, blue over pink, to balance the male-female within the baby, and the pink pomander. Her daughter was suckling, she's 4 days old, suckling on her breast when we went to the home, and it was just joyful, to see her baby. And then I asked the parents, is it okay for me to put the pink, just like we did, around the baby, who was just totally into suckling? And they said, sure. So I did the same, rubbed my hands together, placed it around the baby. What occurred was just incredible, because what the baby did was the same as yourself, Simon. Took herself off the breast, opened her eyes, and just raised her hands to receive the pink energy. It just shows you what you can do, I say, from pregnancy right through. So I wanted to share that because I thought that was really beautiful, what you shared about the pink light and how they calm, they still them, and also working on the innocence, the consciousness of this baby, just raising her arms to receive the pink energy of love. Any questions?
So how long what's the, is there expiry to the Aura? How long does it
No.
last?
Just,
Then they break on the shell.
exactly.
And what about the wisdom? Like some people know the wisdom. What about light? Does that affect them?
The daylight doesn't affect them. If you were to put them in front of the window, sunlight will fade anything. That will definitely occur. You can all ask me tomorrow. I'm very happy to. It's a really a great joy. I feel very honoured. Thank you, and let's just be light. And thank you for creating the workshop and conference. Thank you. Thank you.